Hello, Kareen Erbe here with Broken Ground. And last fall, if you saw my video, I was doing some soil rehabilitation in the greenhouse. So I just wanted to give you an update on what's going on. So let's have a look. So here is one of the beds where I took out several inches of soil and then I just replaced it with some new soil along with some compost. And this year what I'm doing is I'm just growing some greens in here. So I have tatsoi, I have beets, I have spinach that's now, it's getting a little bit too hot for it, so it's starting to bolt. I have a volunteer nasturtium here and some volunteer red orac here. I'm also growing some Tom Thumb peas. These are peas that don't grow very high. They're kind of like bush peas in a way, so they don't need to be trellised. And so those are growing in here as well. And then I have a couple peppers in the back there. So what I'm hoping to do here is once these greens are finished, I might pop in a couple extra peppers. But not going to go too intensive with very much else in this bed. I have things growing in pots here, some basil, and then some seeding, some zucchini and some winter squash. And then in this bed here, I planted some crimson clover, which you can see right here. And so that's coming up as a cover crop. And then just on a whim, I had some old mustard green seeds that I just threw in here. So while the cover crop is growing, I also have some mustard greens growing in here to give me some sort of yield, and they seem to be doing very well. And so I'm just harvesting those, and then we'll let more of the crimson clover come up, and that's what will be happening in this bed here. And then again, you might recall underneath here I have worms decomposing a bunch of my kitchen scraps. And then over on these beds over here in this corner, I have created, there are worms in this bucket, which I'm layering with food scraps and leaves. And then there's just a division there. And then this is also worms underneath in here, underneath pieces of cardboard and leaves. So I just have this kind of old dishcloth on top that I keep moist so that everything in that back corner is moist. So there I'm growing soil in that back northeast corner, which has always been an issue in terms of anything else growing there. So I decided I'd grow soil instead. And then along here I have some nasturtiums. This is where I took out some of the soil and just replaced it with new soil. So just 2 or 3 inches, and just going pretty low key with some greens, arugula, some peas in the back as well, those Tom Thumb peas, some kale in that bed. And then of course, as usual, just to give you a bit of a tour, I have my tomatoes growing. They're gonna go in the ground this week. More tomatoes and peppers and eggplant here. More peppers there, and then I will have quite a few, I have peppers here growing on the top, so way on the top shelves where it's super hot, and they'll appreciate it. I also have some basil in pots there. So that's basically an update from the greenhouse. Again, I'm not going to go heavy intensive, and I'm not planting in these beds anything that last year was susceptible to that, either that fusarium wilt or the spider mite. So I'm not putting tomatoes in here this year. I'm not putting eggplant, not putting any cucumbers either, and just giving it a rest for this season. So let me know if you have any questions. All right, thanks, bye.